Tesla update here on the 3rd. So, the video yesterday, you can go back and watch that. I had two different possibilities of where this could go long term. One of them was an impulse move where this turns into a diagonal. This would load. So, like this, basically. Or we're going to stop here at 240 and then backtrack down here to like 185, maybe like 175, something like that, and turn it into a contracting triangle. We broke this trend line today. Barely, but we broke it. We also hit the 1.61 fib. I need to remove all this stuff. This is all. Okay. So, on the smaller time frames, we have A or 1 here, B or 2 here. And then this right here was not looking like an impulse move. It had not broken outside the parallel line. It had broken the 1.61 fib. But today, what happened? We broke outside the parallel line here. You can see I have it drawn from the bottom of the first wave to the bottom of the second wave. Third wave came outside of there today. So, what does this mean? That means that this is likely a third wave, and that means we're not even close to bottom or topping out. So, this means that the third wave is still ongoing. I think the third wave, but I'm using like the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute time frame. I think that it's potentially finished here. We actually hit the weekly supply within monthly supply, but there is no resistance besides that. What other resistance do we have? We have supply zone here. We're above all moving averages. We've gotten only green candles for the last basically 12 trading days. And we're just waiting now at this point. I think the third wave is probably finished, but we don't know yet. My best guess is if this is finished and does not go higher, considering it hit the weekly supply zone, we're going to see a backtrack over the next couple of days. Maybe like into early next week, back down here to like 230. There's a gap fill there. If the third wave is finished, that would be perfectly fine for a fourth wave. That would only be a retracement of about the 0.23 fib. And then I'd be looking for a fifth wave higher. So what does that mean though? That means that this is more than likely not ABC. Because the 1.61 fib got hit today. So if we're only on the third wave right here, fourth wave, fifth wave higher, that means we're going to break the 1.61 fib and break the parallel line. That means that this is likely only a wave 3 overall. And so my projection would be fourth wave pullback 230, fifth wave up here to like 265, then retrace one more time, potentially all the way down here to like 240, but probably a quick retrace down here to like 245, 250, and then blast off one more time. What's the projection for that? Let's say we come back here to 245, 250. You're looking up here at potentially like 350 for what would be considered probably the third wave. Let's just zoom out here again. If it goes to 350, then this would be like this. So the diagonal is actually looking more likely based on what's going on smaller time frames. But I am looking for a pullback here soon. This is so overextended, and it's hard to call for a pullback, but I think that it makes sense that this starts retracing and challenging that weekly 200. We blew right through the weekly 200. So I think it makes sense to come back down here and tap it one time and fill this gap at 231.60 and then blast off after that. Obviously incredibly bullish, so it's hard to say there's going to be a bearish move confidently, but that's what I see here. I think that there's a chance this pulls back to 231.60 and then we blast up to 265 and then overall 350. So that happened so quickly that a lot of people have already sold. A lot of people are buying puts, and a lot of people don't have any calls anymore. So it's actually a perfect time to keep on running it up and just kind of screw everyone that's just not 100% holding their position. But I do think it's overextended. We can look at the weekly RSI now. Weekly RSI is actually not overbought at all. The daily, though, is getting to historical levels. The highest I found was November 2021, 94. We're at 81. So pullback should happen, and then this is probably going to get up here at some point, challenge this. But I think a pullback makes the most sense over the next couple of days. Can't say that confidently. I'm looking for 350 now as a #1 possibility. So that happened so quickly, but the way that it's shaping up makes the most sense. We'll see what happens. We've already hit the 1.61 fib of this, and I think that this supply should give a little bit of resistance, at least for a couple of days. So that's pretty much all I got to say for now. We'll see what happens. Tesla looking great if you're long, but I do think there's a chance. I do think there's a chance we're hitting 350. So 350 would be the target, pull back, and then if we pull back into the first wave, who knows? You could see 500, 450, 500, 550, who knows? But that would obviously probably take a while. This took about a year, like 10 months or so. So you'd probably be looking at something like this. This would probably happen pretty quickly, maybe into the robo-taxi event. And then we'd pull back, and that might take, 6 months. And then probably get another blow off top like this. So I'm going to leave it at that. Again, the #1 scenario, though, is probably the diagonal now. It changed within a day based on what I see on smaller time frames. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. I'll keep you updated on Tesla. Let's see if we get a pullback over the next couple of days. I personally want to pull back because I want to reload without having to reload calls without having to feel like I'm chasing. But if I'm thinking about the psychology of it, they would want to pump this more and more because nobody's in calls anymore. There's probably some people that are still holding some of their calls, but most people have already sold everything, which makes a lot of sense. So that's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video.